It's all come true. My 10 little soldier boys, my pride. Sergeant, no! If there's any more noise, I will have the court cleared. It's all right, my dear, it's all right. Don't be frightened, don't be scared. This is a court of justice. You'll get justice here. You thought I was a ghost. You thought I was dead. Armstrong said I was dead. It was the clever part of my plan, you see. I told him that we would trap the murderer. We'd fix up my supposed death so that I was free to spy upon the guilty one. He thought it an excellent plan. Met me by the cliff that night with no suspicion whatsoever. I sent him over with a push so easy. He swallowed my red herring, all right. You know Vera Claythorne? All my life I have wanted to take life. Yes, to take life. I had what enjoyment I could out of sentencing the guilty to death. I always enjoyed that, but it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I wanted to take life in my own hands, But I'm a judge of the High Court. I've got a sense of justice. Guilty. You were all guilty, you know, but the law couldn't touch you. So I had to take the law into my own hands. Into my own hands. Anthony Marston first, then Mrs. Rogers. Barbara serving the brandy for her. General Mackenzie, stabbed. I got Rogers with an axe when he was chopping sticks. Then I doped Emily Brent's coffee so she couldn't feel the hypodermic. Booby tracked the Blow! Yes, Blow was a fool. I always knew it would be easy to kill Blow. Returning that revolver in the end was a clever touch. It made the end interesting. I knew you two would suspect each other in the end. The only question was, who would win out? I banked on you, my dear. Vera Elizabeth Claythorne. I sentence you to death!
Stop! I'm not guilty!
They all say that. Must plead not guilty. Unless, of course, you're going all out for a verdict of insanity. But you're not mad, my dear. I'm mad. You're not.
You'll never get away with this!
I shan't be around to find out. I shall be found making down that chair, shot to the forehead in accordance with the records kept by my fellow victims. I got it out to the last detail. Really, most ingenious. Using that revolver and taking great care to preserve your fingerprints on it, I shall loosely attach a cord from my spectacles to the trigger. The cord is elasticated, you see. It will loop round the door handle. Then with the weight of my body on the glasses, I shall pull the trigger. The revolver will recoil, jar the door, and detach itself. Needless to say, when the sea goes down, there will come from the mainland boats and men, and they will find 10 dead bodies in an unsolved mystery on Soldier Island. But first things first.
But I am innocent! You're a judge. You know when people are guilty, and when they're innocent. I swear I'm telling the truth!
You know, Vera Claythorne, you were actually one of the last of my guests to be recruited. I happened to be traveling across the Atlantic, and late one night, the sole occupants of the smoking room were myself and a good-looking young man. He had taken a considerable amount of drink and was in a maudlin, confidential state. He told me the most intriguing story. I can remember his words now. I've known a murderess, he says. Known her, I tell you. And what's more, I'm crazy about her. You wouldn't think a girl like that, a nice, straight, jolly girl, would take a kid out to sea and let it drown.
Oh, don't!
Naturally, I had to be absolutely certain. So after asking if he was sure, suddenly sober, he thrust his face into mine. Quite sure, he said. You see, she did it for me. I knew the moment I looked at her.
I never knew that child! I never wanted to!
During the gramophone recital, I looked into the faces of you all very carefully. Due to my years of previous court experience as a judge, I determined without a doubt that you were in fact guilty. Now you've killed poor Lamar, haven't you? How does it feel to be a murderer? To be guilty? Oh, should not be passed on to you. Nothing? Well, I can't have you spoil my lovely rhyme, my dear. My 10 little soldier boys, you're the last one. One little soldier boy left all alone. He went and hanged himself. Master, my hanging! My hanging! And you must pay for your crimes, my dear, for that poor innocent child that you murdered. For Lombard here. Yes. One little soldier boy left all alone. Goodbye, my dear. Now, I'm forgetting something. Oh, yes, of course. How silly of me. We wouldn't want anyone thinking that you killed yourself now, would we, my dear? Oh, yes, it's almost complete now. And then there were